Welcome to day 2 of my blog outlining course. Yesterday went really well. We discovered how to build a keywords list and build an idea library. A quick review of how to do that. That way, as you guys are coming in and people are coming in, you're not missing any of the main part of the lesson for today. So consider the 3 main questions. What is your purpose for blogging? Who is your audience? And what is your service or product? These are the 3 questions you must ask yourself anytime you sit down to write down copy or content for your business. So, blogs are meant to increase the SEO of your website, which means you want to develop posts surrounding those key terms. Yesterday, we made a list of key terms, placed them into Google and Pinterest to see what content is currently available and popular. We then developed 2 lists of post ideas. Filler posts, which are common and relatively overdone topic ideas that provide value to your audience. Going back to yesterday's example of Abby, the health coach, and the meal planning post idea. So it's common post. Everybody has one, especially if they're in the health and wellness industry. So common post ideas that are overdone. And then also utilizing fun holidays to entertain your audience while also providing tips such as with my real estate client and the chocolate cupcake holiday, and how baking and the smell of baked goods can help to sell a home, right? All right, so you're not going to write your post the same way as others have written on the same topic. On average, an individual needs to see something up to 6 or 7 times before they take action. Your post could just be the 6th or 7th post someone reads related to your service or product, causing your post to be the one that leads them to purchase from you. Also, a lesson I learned from growing up within a family of entrepreneurs is you are likely to hear no 3 times from the same person or same individual before they decide they are ready to purchase from you. So whenever you get a no from somebody, don't be discouraged. It just means not right now. It doesn't mean no forever. It means not right now. So we then developed a second list of ideas answering questions many within your audience are struggling to find the answers to, because the content on the subject is not there or it's difficult to access. The difficult to access information may be found with scientific or scholarly articles that most don't know are available via Google. So you have your list of keywords and main ideas. I'm hoping you have all downloaded the blog outlining template I posted here in the group. If you have, you will have noticed each blog outline is broken up into the following sections. So we're now going to get into today's actual topic of breaking down your main ideas into an outline. So the way the template, for those of you who haven't downloaded it yet, the way it's broken down is you have your main idea, your scheduled by date. I put that in there so that you're able to create goals for yourself and determine when you're going to have this post written. The template is broken down January to December, so you can plan out your entire year. So you have your main idea, you have your scheduled by date, and then you have your subtopic sections 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you have your web links section. And finally, it has a notes section for you also. So we've covered the main ideas at this point. That's what we talked about yesterday, developing your main ideas, locating your key terms and turning them into topics. And I like to go through and plan out the main idea topics by month based on my plans and goals for my marketing. So for my marketing in the upcoming months. So returning to our health coach, Abby, we're going to continue using her from yesterday. She will likely be focusing on mindset and building new habits during the month of January, while everyone is still focused and thinking about their New Year's resolutions. So Abby would likely pull out some ideas and keywords geared towards these sorts of topics for her blog. In February, maybe she wants to run a challenge in her group, so she creates content and ideas surrounding the theme of the challenge. For this example, let's say it's a workout challenge. So she pulls posts from her idea list about workout safety, proper hydration, or how to properly do a push-up, etc. So once you've filled in your main ideas, I think planning out at least 3 months is ideal. Set your deadlines. This helps keep you accountable for when you will finish writing and scheduling each post. And at this point, you have your subtopics, web links, and notes left. All right, so yesterday's main ideas, and I'm adding on to the fact, give yourself deadlines so that you have your post written by a certain date. And now we're going to move into the actual outlining of the post. So the order of how you fill out the rest is up to you. I'm going to begin with the notes and web link sections because for me, that's generally how I do it. So the web link section is for you to post backlinks, reference links, or example posts to use to inspire you as you write a blog post on a similar topic. So going back to Abby, let's say she's writing a post about food pairings and how to combine certain foods, how combining certain foods leads to better nutrition, nutritional value. So there's a few scholarly articles written and available on Google Scholar. A news article about how to sell this concept, on how well this concept is working in Japan. And there's another health coach out there who wrote about the topic, but with less statistics to back it up. So she likes the flow that this health coach used, but she also wants to use more of the statistics and information from these posts over here. So she puts all of these web links into her web link section. So at this point, she has a number of web links she can look at for helping to develop her post, as well as material she can use to backlink within her post, building her credibility as well as the SEO for her site, right? So as you're doing your own, I want you to consider if you have statistical information that can support your argument or what you're saying or what you're trying to teach, find those web links, put them in there, backlink to those sites, because one, it increases your credibility that you're able to cite your sources. Two, it also increases your SEO and credibility because you have more backlinks within your post. And then finally, third, it helps you develop the overall concept and idea for what you're wanting to write about, so that after you do this outline, if you don't touch it for a couple months, you still know exactly where to go and you can be re-inspired and be like, oh yeah, I know what I was going to talk about. So that's why I like to put the web links in there and include that in the outlining process. Okay. Now, the notes section is where you put your broader ideas surrounding your blog post's main topic. Use your website links to help you develop the main idea. All right? So now, the most important part about the outlining section is the actual outlining, and that's where the subsections come in. So finally, we're on to the subsections. Now, what I love about subsections is that they are also a great way for building and developing new blog ideas and posts. So you'll want to go back and look at your subsections later, which is why it's great to outline your posts ahead of time this way, because it keeps you, or it keeps your idea library building, right? And that's what we want. We want more content, more ideas, so that we don't run out. And it's a great way to repurpose, and also it gives you posts to backlink to, because if you take one of these subsections from one post and write about it in more in depth in a second post, you can then backlink to your own stuff, which helps your SEO even more, right? So it's awesome. I love, that's why I really like this process for outlining. All right, so the subsections will outline the bulk of your post. You will want between 3 and 5 paragraphs per main idea. So each section or paragraph will provide increasing value and tell a story. So let's take Abby's how to do a proper push-up idea, just because it's simple and relatively, we all know what a push-up is. So we're gonna go with this one. So how to do a proper push-up idea. We mentioned earlier, and oh yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Okay, so we're gonna go over how she might break that main idea into subsections now. Okay, so location for the push-up. She might want to remind her readers to ensure a well-padded surface for their hands or their knees, right? And if they're doing a push-up from their, especially if they're doing a push-up from their knees instead, right? So the difference between, so she may, and then from there, she may also want to go into the difference between using the knees and versus the feet. So that could be a second subsection, right? So she has location, and then the difference between using the feet and the knees for how to do a push-up. Okay, and then she has her hand placement, because there's different ways you can place your hands when doing a push-up, right? Some people do it like this, and some people do it like this, and like this, and like there's probably a certain way you're supposed to put your shoulders. I don't know. I am not a health coach. But so that would be a third subsection, right? Is hand placement. And then how far your face should go down, right? Like, so what is the degree of angle that you should be aiming for when you're doing a push-up, right? So that would be a fourth subsection that she could talk about. And this is just one post on how to do a push-up, right? And honestly, I'd like to read a post like this, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't do push-ups. But anyway, so she now has a fully outlined blog post at this point, because remember I said you need 3 to 5. You don't have to fill in every subsection. So if you can't come up with 5 subsections, aim for 3, because there's at least 3 things you can say about any of the main topic ideas you are going to come up with for your blog post, right? Your main idea, it can be broken down into at least 3 things, at least. Okay, so she now has a fully outlined blog post. She also has ideas for new blog posts, like, because she could use one blog post to build, because like I was saying, you can take one blog post and you can build a second one, correct? Just using the subsections. And this ensures that you never run out of content. Thanks, Natasha. My air push-ups. Get my workout for the day. All right, where was I? Oh, that was good. So she can also now take this outline or this blog post once she's written it, and she can create social media posts, right, to share with her community and her audience, and also to lead them back to the main post. All right. So now I'm going to get into my bonus topic for today. Tanya asked a great question a couple weeks ago in a live I did on my business page. Tanya asked how often blog posts should be shared. which I thought was a really, really great question. And I kind of covered it in a live I did, I think last week, but I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more and talk about that here while we're talking about outlining posts and how you can also repurpose posts too. So you always want to immediately share a new blog post that's live, right? When you post it live on your site, I recommend turning each blog post into at least 10 or 20 social media posts that you can share over the course of 6 months to a year. Also, Pinterest is a fabulous tool for ensuring your post can be found and seen for years. It's unlike Facebook and Instagram. When you post on Pinterest, it's there, right? All right, so when it comes to Pinterest, I recommend creating 4 to 6 different pins for your blog post and sharing them to your Pinterest board over the course of a couple weeks at least, to a month, just depending on how often you're getting on your Pinterest. Bonus points, if every 3 months you can create some brand new pins also to share, because you want to constantly be sharing new stuff on Pinterest. And a great way to do that is to just create a new pin but that goes to the same post. You don't just want to create one pin per post. You want to create multiple pins. You want to share them in different boards. But that's a whole nother lesson. Anyway, so when someone asks you a question, when someone has asked you a question and you've created a blog post about that question or answering that question, send them the link to your blog post, because that sends them to your website, and that's where you want them to go. You want them to go to your website. You want them to explore all the stuff that you have going on there, and then it can either turn them into a client or it can turn them into a follower and eventually a client later down the road, right? So when you get a question and you've written a blog post, send them the blog post. Don't just answer the question, because otherwise you're going to be constantly answering the same question over and over again. So if you find that you're answering a lot of the same questions and you don't have a blog post about it, write one. There's your idea for blog post right there. Yep. Okay. So, all right. So today's lesson was a bit full of information. If you watched the entire live event, thank you so much. Please feel free to leave any questions you have in the comments. For homework, your homework for tonight is to pick 1 to 3 main topic ideas that you came up with yesterday. And I want you to create an outline by breaking each main idea down into 3 to 5 subtopics. All right, so that's your homework. Outline at least 1 to 3 blog posts tonight for your homework. And if you need help, follow yesterday's instructions for creating for using Google and Pinterest for your inspiration. If your post would be more valuable or more trustworthy with statistics, I highly recommend going to Google Scholar. You might find some really good statistics to help with your main idea. Also, news sites, government sites are all great for these things too. And if you need help finding some, let me know. I'm really good at finding those. So yeah, and that's how you're going to do your web link section. And I'm going to create a post in the group right after this. So I'm going to ask you all to share at least one of your outlines with us as the group. Tell us what the main idea is and the 3 to 5 subsections you create. You don't have to put all the web links and notes and in the comment of the thread I'm going to create. So just your main idea and 3 to 5 subsections. That way we can get a basic idea of your outline. All right, so please ask any questions if you have any in the comments. If you're catching this on replay, please do #replay. And I if I get enough questions, like I said yesterday, if I do get enough questions, I'll go live in the group in the evening time around probably 9 p.m. Central. But otherwise, I'll respond directly to them. So thank you so much, everybody. And if you are enjoying this, if you're enjoying this course, please let me know. I would love to hear your feedback. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bye.